Hello and welcome to Bonk Table. I'm Mass. This is another Skillin' Cassandra Bonk Table podcast. Introduce yourselves, Cassandra.
Hi, I'm Cassandra.
Introduce yourself, Skillin', coming out of his Spires hot dog.
I am once again here.
How was the hot dog? Did you climb it? Which end did you climb out of?
Both ends.
At the
out
same-
of the side.
Oh Jesus!
You both out of the side. The way
No,
that
if it's good body horror, you climb out of both ends.
How the? Is it like
you just wear it like a hula hoop and then you rip it off in the middle, okay?
the Spire siege weapons shooting giant hot dogs at people would explode into Skillin' drones running around and causing problems?
It's a
I-
bad idea.
Feel so bad for anyone who hasn't listened to the previous episodes and gotten the context of like the Spire's like hot dog machine analogy. And now is
Well,
just
they can
listening
just
to
go
like
check out Apocalypse Zero.
No. Not going back to that
listening
shit.
to Matt with no explanation. Going, did you pop out of the hot dog?
Is that gonna be the new introduction? It's like, so which end of the hot dog you came out of today?
You know, I always thought I was going to be the problem on this
You are!
podcast, but
Actually,
I'm
you
not the one
think that
proposing that we ask guests, what end of the hot dog did you come out of today?
well, who did I think it was it the Josh's or was it just for one? I forget which email I had. I think it might have been just for one. Or maybe it was the Josh's. Whoever's email I sent out of like the Spires hot dog, they haven't made an episode yet to answer that question.
I think it's a question that most people don't feel comfortable answering.
How about this? If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this on like Spotify or Podbean or Apple Podcasts, go on the YouTube, write a quick comment, and tell me which side of the Spires hot dog you'd come out of.
Don't DM me. I'll ignore it.
Cass doesn't even watch anything on YouTube. Have you actually ever looked at
I don't want to
anything?
hear any of our listeners' opinions on the what end of the hot dog, just as a rule. But sorry, what were you going to ask?
Okay, well now I'm gonna, like, once I collect all the comments, I'm gonna tell you them next time we record.
I hate that.
I know. Have you actually watched anything that I've ever put on the YouTube channel?
So, do you want a really honest answer?
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
I probably have never listened to anything all the way through that we've produced, like just period. But I'll usually I'll skim most of the stuff and just if it's the podcast, I want to hear if I said anything really like funny or cute. So I always want to be on top of that, and I try to keep on top of everything. But I wouldn't say I was right there for a lot of it.
I know. Like, I'll admit.
Unless you're Twin Peaks, I can't watch you a whole bunch all in a row.
Ooh, that's
I
fair.
need to take breaks.
That's fair. Skillin, do you watch anything on the YouTube channel?
Yeah, not consistently, not as consistently as I used to, at least, just because, like, number one, I'm in half of them now, or
Yep.
I've watched the game be played or was playing the game, so I'm a little less. Like, I'll look over some of like what you have to say about that, but for the most part, I don't really need a recap of the thing that I just saw.
Live.
But, yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, I remember that.
Can I admit something?
Hmm.
I play
Yeah.
the game, I record the game, and then I edit the game. I live all these games 3 fucking times.
Well,
Yeah.
they say that you play a war game 3 times. The first time is when you play it, and then the second time is when you edit it, and I don't know. I guess the third time is when you look at the comments after.
Third time is when somebody talks to you endlessly about it in a way that replays it for you.
I get like the non-fat flashbacks of just like the game. Well, the worst part is when people I'll upload something and it'll be like, oh, tell me more details about this part of this game, and I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, okay, this game was played 2 months ago. I edited it like 2 weeks after that, or recorded it 2 weeks after that, and I edited it like another 6 weeks after that. So like, I don't know, whatever you see is what you're getting at that point. Like, I really got nothing more to comment on this thing.
And like sometimes it's like, I don't know, that was like a major balance patch ago, and I just delete all old versions immediately out of my head. Like, one thing that was amazing to me is like Colin would like start like recounting like the 1,000-year history, like
of 100k nerfs. Like testament to Colin.
Everything.
Testament to Colin to be like the historian of our local meta of just like saying all this shit about like what happened in various games, what people had, how shit was OP. Like, it's really a testament of this guy's memory of like all this crap.
But like, it would seriously be like the Aqua Teen Hunger Force like robot guy who's like, this is gonna be a really long story. No, really, go get some snacks. Thousands of years ago, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ.
He's like, I had 10 longbows and a chapter mage, and I would cast air spells on them, and then the longbows would shoot 30 inches and pick units up off the table. It was not healthy for the game. I'm like, yes, Colin, I know. I was there getting shot at by you. It fucking sucked.
You did that to me.
Yeah. Colin, please stop. Like, Colin, okay, so Colin's a great guy, great player. He likes to dark horse and do weird shit all the time. I don't think he'll ever, like, quotes, pick a meta list or anything. He'll always do, like, dark horse or whatever. What's always fun and interesting.
But he's not, like, throwing, though. Like,
no, he plays good games with his dark horse.
They're just not potentially like as powerful as they could be, I guess. I don't know.
He's a dark horse like the comics, not like the Katy Perry song.
No one wants the Katy Perry
If that
song.
makes sense to you, I don't know. It's weird that you would actually be listening to this podcast for the most part, because I feel like most of my analogies really fall flat with people.
Ooh.
I like this episode is such a barn burner for like people who bitch and moan that we're not on topic enough, because like, not only have we been at this for a while now, we're not even like within a country mile of the thing that we set out to record this about, but the best part is basically the main thrust of what we've been talking about up to this point is just like, I don't really listen to this thing when it's done. Which I think is what you want your listeners to hear you say about your own work, I think.
Well, like, when
it's done, I'm finished with it.
Like, it's out there. Here, enjoy it. Have fun. I really don't care what you do after.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of it too is it's like you could sum up the topic in like maybe 2 or 3 sentences, and it's kind of like, yeah, but it's not so much about like, here, let us give you a simple summary of like the thing that, like, don't do the annoying thing. There you go. That's the summary for the topic. But
did you?
Yeah.
Skillen, hold on. I made this the other day, and I'm very proud of it. I'll go get it for you. Copy image. I'll throw it in memes. I sent that to Nords the other day. It's in the memes channel.
Whoa. Nasal congestion.
It's not the meme.
I know, but I just saw that.
But the read Nords read Peace Trade screaming no. I think that's so good. Okay, well, fine. Anyway, should we get on to our topic?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, cool. So we're gonna talk about tournament prep and game/table etiquette, and probably a bit of sportsmanship. I don't know. Maybe we should like knock one out. Like, should we do like sportsmanship, game etiquette, like table etiquette, or should we just do tournament prep? Because I feel like those are two topics I'm trying to slam together, to be honest, and I don't think we need like another 4-hour one.
Yeah,
there's not that much to say about the etiquette thing, though. Like, is there really?
I don't know.
There is, but we're just lecturing everybody.
Do people want to be lectured today, or should we talk about tournament prep? Skillin, make a decision. You're the intern.
Let's just talk about tournament prep.
Okay, there we go.
I'll give you the cliff notes on the other topic. When someone's playing and they're in a competitive game, don't interrupt them. You can stand there and watch. Probably don't ask a bunch of fucking questions. If it's a casual game and like people are like trying to build the community, that's a different thing. But you know, when someone traveled for like 14 hours to play in this thing, and this is like game like 4 of 6, like
Hell,
I
it
don't
could
want
be
to fucking
6
talk
of
to you.
6.
It's like I don't want to talk to you. Like it's cool. Like yeah, you can look at it, but like talk to somebody else. Like or talk to me any other day. Like talk to me any other event that isn't like the big event.
Or hear me out. Talk to me once I am done doing this.
Yeah, like talk to me after the game. Like even if it's casual, honestly, like what I've been just dying. I've been waiting for us to get into this episode so I can fucking complain about this.
All right, guess we're doing that. Sorry, tournament prep sucks to be you.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's part and parcel with it. Like so I'm going to talk about it either way. We can do tournament prep, or we can do. Here's a joke that I want to make, but I don't think I
do
should.
it.
There's just like every time I hear tournament prep, I think bottom prep, and that's not something that necessarily we need to get into in depth on this podcast. It's not really for everyone, but it does amuse me to no end that is what like just immediately what I think about. But you know what? For some people who aren't,
I'm physically doing the Picard slap. Like
for some people who aren't great at the game, maybe tournament prep is bottom prep. You know.
Corporate would like you to spot the difference.
Yeah. Either way, you're gonna want to be clean down there.
Oh my god. Carl's round 2 opponent, the bottom getting cleaned out. These are the same picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not wrong, but what were we talking about again?
Just like table etiquette, game etiquette.
Or are we talking about tournament prep?
No, we'll do etiquette.
I still feel like we're not there yet.
No, we're doing etiquette.
Okay, we're doing etiquette?
Yeah, bong table experience. 12 minutes in.
Okay.
This is actually good for us. We're 12 minutes in.
Yeah, okay. Point number 1. Turn 1 to turn 10 when you're playing a game, whether it's a casual game or it's the biggest tournament in the world, if you're not in the game, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Watch.
Peanut gallery commentary is not welcome. Like,
yeah.
someone is gonna fucking tackle you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's go over the hierarchy of it, or the tier list, I guess. If you're gonna interrupt the game to talk and you're not in the game, I have a separate rant for making small talk between the two people who are actually playing the game during the game. But that's a whole other thing unto itself. We won't get to that just yet. But
oh man.
Fuck. So in terms of like if you're showing up and talking at a game in progress, like so I guess B tier, because that's about as high as this list is going to go, is if you're just making like a non sequitur comment that can't influence the game state. Like, whoa, that's a slobber knocker, or, you know, holy smokes, that type of shit. Like, I guess that's not really a problem.
Oh man, it is. It has been, because then your opponent's making a play and trying to realize what they fucked up, what might cost them time, because it might actually be close for round end, and they could have prevented a loss that way. I've seen it happen. So like when there's a game being played, especially if it's a tournament game, just don't say anything. Just fucking don't. Just stand off to the side, out of the way. Watch from there.
Tournament games in particular.
Yeah, tournament games you
comment
should
on shit.
Shut the fuck up.
It's not your game. Just like talk afterwards, like or later.
But when somebody comes in and just like starts just having a conversation with one of the people playing, like I think you can actually see me get observably angrier and angrier, like on a second to second basis, as that conducts itself. That drives me bananas.
I feel like you have a very specific person in mind who would do this.
Yeah.
I have a few
repeatedly.
actually, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's real annoying. I'd like have a conversation with your buddy in a way that doesn't make me have to wait 15 minutes to
Yeah.
continue the game.
it's maddening. Like the games take time to play if everybody's focused. So like if you're just stopping to have a discussion about things that don't matter, like Discord message your thoughts, and then they can answer at their leisure, and they have the information to hand, so you don't have to worry about forgetting anything if that's the concern. If they're dying to tell somebody, like, I downloaded Battlestar Galactica the other night, like, send it in a text. Fuck.
That's actually so real. Holy shit.
Or just do it once the game's over. Like, so like at a casual game day, I don't care too much when someone like comes by and says, oh hey man, what's going on? Oh, I'm playing Game of Conquest. Like, oh cool man, that's cool. And it's like, yeah man, and then that's kind of it. Like that's fine. I don't really care, especially in like casual game day. Yeah, whatever. But like when someone starts having a full blown conversation with another person, and it's like we're playing a game, and it's like, okay, store closes at 9, it's 8:30. I'd like to wrap this up.
Please fuck off. The Armchair Strategist, of course, is the next tier of the Circle of Hell down. Like, if you come in and are like,
oh my god.
Well, what I would do is like, I can't say what I want you to do to yourself because for some reason I'll be the one who gets in trouble. But I think I've probably hinted strongly enough at what I think people who do that should do, and if you do that, then you should do that.
Okay. Years ago, I played a guy who was trying to learn War Machine. We're just playing a game. And as we're playing, doing this learning game, one of the other players who's very good at War Machine in our local meta came by and started standing behind him. Then another. And they're all like offering advice and stuff like that. And I'm like, guys, what the fuck? Am I playing this dude or am I playing 4 other goddamn people and him? And I was like, get the fuck out of here. And they scattered. But it's like, stop that shit. It's really annoying. Unless you agree with your opponent, hey, you're going to have somebody come over and coach you, or your opponent's actually trying to coach you and help you out and learn, the game is between you and your opponent, not between you, your opponent, and everyone else in the building.
Yeah. I'm not averse to taking 5 guys, but it shouldn't be a surprise.
Oh, man, when they start slowly piling in, you're like, wow, that's a lot of man.
I will say there is always like the Vanguard asterisk, right? If you're talking to somebody, honestly, the Vanguard should basically swoop in and intercept them. If you're playing a game with the Vanguard, like, sorry, you're going to have to like listen to the sales pitch.
I love the Vanguard.
If someone is learning the game, I don't know. I've done this kind of thing like a bunch with other stuff, so I can just like rattle it out. And like Bernie is pretty good at like he's helped me with fencing stuff for so long that like he kind of knows how to like play off the points and stuff.
He's a slave to your Chuck D.
Exactly.
He's the Batman to your Robin.
Precisely. So like that's gonna happen. It's part of like growing the community. If the Vanguard is at all free, or like essentially like if someone walks up and starts doing that stuff, like wants to know about the game, the Vanguard should like intercept them to prevent that. And if you're learning a game, I would argue if the person who's learning to play needs someone to help coach them through it, either the Vanguard will do it or the Vanguard will pick somebody to do this, to like be their dedicated like, battle buddy. You do not really need a team of like 8 people who are already good at the game just telling the person what to do, because they're not going to learn, right? Because they're just doing what like the Council of like Doom tells them to do. They're not thinking about what to do. So, but oftentimes it's like, I know like when I'm teaching, or if I'm like if I pick somebody to help somebody learn, it's not because they're necessarily the best player. It's because they're not going to just use that person as a proxy to play their game. Like it's not just like a what do you call it? Well, anyways, they're not going to play the game through that person. It's specifically to be like, hey, what are you trying to do? Here's how you can do it. Like that kind of a question.
They're actually
Or like that
providing
kind of an approach.
providing coaching and, hey, this is how you do the thing you're trying. It's like, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to do X. Okay, this is actually how you do it, so you're not going to get screwed over because you don't understand how to maneuver. It's like learning to start rotating your regiments. Like, people are going to tell you to rotate your regiments, but until you actually start doing it and doing it consistently and knowing when and why to rotate your regiments, you won't like develop that, or like you won't understand that skill. And so like that's a little bit of coaching where someone's like, okay, hey, in this scenario, you see how your opponent's coming at you, you can rotate the regiment this way, will allow you to get a side charger with this other regiment. Like, that's a bit of coaching and like learning the game. Now, and then the coach steps back and watches the game until the player goes, hey, how do I do this thing? It's kind of like a question answer.
Yeah,
Teaching.
So like most of the time,
You kind of just let them do the thing because you got to naturally develop those skills.
well, so most of the time, what I find is good coaching isn't so much of like, now do this thing or whatever. It's a lot of times being like, hey, I know you want to charge in at that block of enemies, but do you see how there are 3 units? What do you think's going to happen after you charge in? Like, where do you think those units are going? And it's like,
I'm gonna
probably
god
in the
roll and
flanks.
then wipe out the first unit that I charge into, and then I'll win priority in the next turn, and then I'll just be able to keep the magic running. That's my
Yeah, it's the beginning. It's the top of the turn. You've already taken ship.
people play. So until you actually play Conquest, though, I was kidding, but it made me realize that I was actually kind of tapping into something real there, and that is that a lot of players like have a fantasy idea of how a game of Conquest plays out.
Oh yeah, would you
And
say it's
until
from the
you've
Warhammer?
actually, yeah, and
Yeah, they're
until
gonna
you
roll all-
actually like,
Go ahead,
They're
Cass.
gonna
Sorry.
gain priority every turn. They're gonna roll all ones, and they're gonna just be in the right position, and their opponent's gonna do the dumbest thing possible every round. Like that's how
Yeah.
people imagine the game is played. Like,
and that's true of every wargame. Like everybody looks at the data sheet and assumes that they're just going to get maximum like ideal output every turn, every time when they're making until they've found their feet in the game. But yeah, I was making fun of it when I made that comment, but realistically, like that is what's going to happen, and that's why people are going to march their stuff up straight into the middle because they're going to assume that they're the
Well-
hero of this, and not just.
and that's why it's important though when you like are coaching people. It's like, yeah, I know you have this like idealized vision of like how you're just gonna totally win this game, but like, do you see what is happening? And if you point it out, and then it's like, oh, I think it's gonna work, and then what you predict happens, and they're like, oh, should have thought about that, and it's like, like, sure, maybe 5 games down the road you'll understand how to deal with it properly, but we're like, the initial phase is really just like getting people to recognize that something bad is happening before it happens, or like pointing it out, or like cueing them into it, and then letting them figure out how to deal with it later, like when they start to recognize it.
Yeah, like I do agree with you because like if you don't know how to play Conquest and like or don't know how to play like this style of like rank and flank game, like you come from other games, you just don't know how things maneuver. Like maneuverability is a huge thing about Conquest, of like how to position stuff and how to get to places in a timely fashion. You can just like get stuck behind so much crap and onto things, and you just don't know how to like wheel stuff around properly, that really you're just fighting the movement system for the first couple games before it kind of like you understand it and then can like learn other things. Because like one thing Ben said, Competent Ben from Competent Conquest, that I kind of took from heart is new inexperienced players blunder regiments, experienced players blunder actions. So like as you gain more and more experience, you start making less, like you make less mistakes. That's the thing. And all your moves are just going to be you're going to get more value out of your moves because each move has a purpose.
Well, the mistakes definitely become smaller in scale.
Yeah. Still lead to the same outcome.
Well, if your opponent's blundering with like an entire activation and you blunder with like one, like you're like off by half an inch.
Well, that'd be
like,
so like
you don't get fully optimized like shots.
Yeah, but then there's one more in this. Then competent players are the ones who blunder like those small positioning things. So like you have your new and experienced players who are going to blunder entire like regiments. You have your experienced players who are going to blunder actions. So it's like you made an improper march, or you didn't reform with one of your actions, or you had to spend another like you had to spend an action to like reform. So now and then charge. So you didn't get like the charge clash, stuff like that. And then if you're like a competent player, you're going to be doing little tiny things like you weren't over like that half an inch you needed, stuff like that. That's kind of like the 3 states of conquest, it kind of seems. Like, as you start climbing that ladder, you start making less and less mistakes that way.
Yeah, like, your mistakes become smaller in scope, but when you're playing against somebody who's, like, equally skilled, it really is who makes the bigger mistake. Like, because all the positioning is, like, so locked in, it's not like other games where I don't know, like I played BattleTech again a couple days ago and I was like, oh wow, like as long as you're alive, you can kind of just like win initiative and then like jump behind somebody and like shoot them in the back and they just fucking die and you're like, sweet. You're not doing that in Conquest. Like you have to plan it out for like 3 turns if you are.
Yeah. Okay, so another table etiquette thing. This is one that actually drives me crazy because I've had it happen a lot of times, and it like still drives me up the wall when it does happen. Is respecting a player's physical space when they're playing a game of Conquest. For some reason, there's been people who are like, "Wow, your minis are amazingly painted," and "Oh, this is an amazing battle," and they decide to stand exactly right beside you on the 6-foot table. And it's like, can you move? I'm trying to play the game. Like,
they're trying to have an intimate moment with you.
Yeah. You're not my lover. Get the fuck out of here. There's only like one person I want this close to me.
The power move is you just hold their hand.
Should I like grab their hands and start getting them to move my minis around? Is this what you wanted?
No, you just like hold their hand and like turn your head slowly and stare into their eyes.
You're like, I missed you. Where were you? Today, I was getting groceries, and you weren't there to tell me what to buy. I didn't know you had a gluten allergy. Just fucking be a...
Do that. If you do that, right, I'm pretty sure they will be out of there real quick, or you have to double down.
What happens if they triple down? What if I start a relationship with this random person because of my stupidity?
Well, you just gotta commit.
Can love blossom on a battlefield?
Yeah. My opponent, it's like, I don't like it when people start randomly talking to us while we're playing a game. Me trying to get intimate with some random person who's like all up in my personal space as I try and play this game. My opponent, what the fuck is happening?
The thing is, the language of love doesn't necessarily need words.
You know what? We're playing on mats. We'll just throw the mat on top of us.
The next step is you just lick the ear. If you lick the ear and they stick around, you found something special.
Okay, I've kind of told this story a couple times, but one of my games at Adept. This is not a licking ear story. Jesus Christ! I know that's where you were going. I fucking know it. I
mean, it did sound like.
Yeah, but like one of my
because of the way the conversation
was going in a direction.
I cannot take you two anywhere together. Literally cannot.
Like I'm fine in public.
No, you're not.
What do you mean?
I won't be.
No, this together in public. You guys are like snickering. It's like Beavis and Butthead of just stupidity happening over there.
It's like Daria and Butthead.
Yeah, there we go. Daria and Butthead. Yeah. That is actually more. Yeah, Skillen's Daria though.
That's fair.
Yeah, in this context, yes.
That's fair.
Anyway, one of this, so it's come up a couple times. Like there's, I know at one of the stores we play at locally, especially early on in the scene, there'd be this random person who was playing some board game and then would walk over to the conquest tables and start like just getting up in my grill, and it was like, please, I'm trying to play the game, but I'm also trying not to be rude to you, to say, be like, fuck off, because you're up in my space. At Adepticon, there was some guy, he was like, oh, I'm this guy's friend, and he's like standing behind me the entire time, and I was getting a little paranoid.
remember you talking about that.
Yeah, I was getting a little paranoid that he was like looking at my cards and then like texting his buddy to see like which way I ordered my deck or something maybe, and I was like, so I would like shuffle my cards together and then put it on the table, and I would like look behind me and he'd like look away, and then I'd pick up my stuff and I'd look behind me again, and I'd like start my hand and then put it down, and then I'd pick it up and start my hand and then put it down, and that's how I played that game until Yanni
Did you
came
just
by.
ask him to go to his friend's side of the table?
fucking,
And like,
I
hey
don't-
man, do you mind going over there with your buddy?
Yeah, it was weird. And I
You're
was
in my
just,
space.
but it like he was behind me, but it was close, and it was just like I thought he would like watch for a little bit and then, you know, do what normal people do, is fuck off and wander around. No, he was like behind me the entire time until what the hell is it? Like Yanni came by to do a rules ruling, and I was like, okay, there's Yanni in my space, there's this dude in my space, and my cart is already taking up space. I'm like, I'm just walking away. I live in a flat area. I can't do this. After that, he wandered off. Like, my opponent was great and everything. It was just weird. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I just really don't like when people are like behind me within like, you got to give me like 1.5 feet space at least.
Our-
Like,
my
have to be at
arm-
least 3 feet.
if I put my
I'm gonna
arms out
just
and
Step back
spin,
and elbow you.
yeah, like if I put my arms out and spin, I shouldn't be able to hit you.
Like, and when I say that, it's not even intentional. It's like I will step backwards and look over my shoulder and like accidentally like check you. And it's like, if you don't want that to happen, just don't invade my personal space, and then there's no problem. But like, I don't know. It's like, because the way that I move around, I move with, you know, I'll put it this way, I move with purpose. It's like if you're in my space, you know, the
I will-
people who tend to outweigh me in these places are not outweighing me due to muscle mass. So like, I don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I'll go through a couple people, and it's like, oh, I gotta watch out.
It's like, whoa, accidentally bumped into the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man. Like,
And then he falls over and hits another table, and then all those minis go up in the air, would then scatter all over the place, would hit more minis. It's just a fucking cascade domino effect, and it's like, god damn it. Then
so,
I look like the bad guy.
like, the reason that I bring this up is because people have actually like gotten real close in my personal space, and I'm not aware of it, and then I'll like bump into them, and it's like, I don't know, like, I've like accidentally like basically checked somebody who like was sneaking up on me, and it's like, bro, this is your fault. Like, don't fucking like creep up behind me when I'm like completely distracted, because when you're playing a game like this, you're very focused on that. I'm not like trying to be like, oh, keeping my head on the swivel in case some like weirdo decides to like creep up on me.
Yeah, just
I don't know.
like watch from the side. And then
Yeah, give it a couple feet. Give it a couple feet.
like, so I know at the Adepticon finals, people were sitting watching that table, standing by that table, and everyone was like 3 to 4 feet away from that table. And the judge was there to like screen people to give these guys a time and space to play the game, and also ward off anyone coming. It's the same thing with the Vanguard. Like, I love our local Vanguard for being like, oh, this looks like an amazing game. I want to talk to you about it and ask all these questions. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to play the game. This, like, the only social contract I currently have is between me and my opponent, and not to you and whatever the hell is happening right now. Don't get me wrong, I will socialize with this person and talk about the game. If there's like no Vanguard, or if there's like no one around or whatever, it's just like I want to play the game with the person I'm playing against and just give them my full attention for the time that it takes to play this game. I've already committed my evening to this task. Let me play the game. So I do enjoy where it's like, oh hey, you know what? That guy over there, or you know the Vanguard's coming over. Yeah, go talk to them. Like it's nothing on them. It's just I only get a game in like once, maybe twice a month if I'm lucky. Lucky. I want to maximize my game time.
For clarification, this is not me. This is the other Vanguard.
Yeah, well, I have done it to you as well, but you also, well, I choose this for myself. In that other store, I put myself in the corner so that no one can get to me.
Yep.
I think you mean the other former Vanguard.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
The other former Vanguard. The new Vanguard plays at the end of the table so that everyone else has to walk by him, Skillin, so that they can like look at the games and then have to talk to Skillin because he's like right there, and he's the first one you're going to interact with.
I don't mind dodging those people. I don't mind dodging those people. It's specifically someone who will like stand behind me. They'll like walk up and be just behind me, and it's like
They're breathing
at
down
some
your
point,
neck.
I'm gonna like, because usually it'll happen when I'm like leaned forward towards the table, and they'll get right up behind me, and then I like move back, and then it's just like I bump into them, and I'm like, whoa, like I don't know what you're trying to do here, but
Please
I
stop.
don't know. Yeah, people just walking past or whatever. Like I dodge them like any, as per usual.
Yeah. So another thing about table etiquette is, like the social contract between you and your opponent. So this is stuff of like when you roll your dice, you roll your dice. You don't drop them. You don't flip them. You don't like do weird shit with your dice to try and like, I don't know, quotes, game for an advantage or just be weird about it. Also, roll your dice in a way that people can see them. I will roll my dice. I don't like using like what is it? One of those boxes, one of those dice boxes. It's just years of not using it and I just haven't developed that habit and I don't like to do it. But I will roll my dice in a large area that's unoccupied with minis on the table, but my opponent can see, and then I will, be very obvious of the ones I'm picking up so that they see my dice. Don't roll your dice behind buildings. Don't roll your dice off the table 2 feet away. Don't.
Also, when you're picking up dice, pick up the ones that
are not relevant.
Fail.
Yeah, the failures.
Pick up the ones that fail or are not otherwise like that are disadvantageous to you. Leave the ones that are advantageous to you on the table so that your opponent can pick out anything that doesn't belong. Because like it just happens sooner or later, especially after playing this game for like several hours, you're gonna miss one.
Or you're gonna miscount. You'd be like, "Oh, I got 10 hits, dude. You have 9 dice."
Yeah, exactly. So,
or it's
and then just
or
like
even worse,
just leave them there until they're not relevant.
Yeah, or even worse. Oh, I got 10 hits, dude. It's 11 dice. You got 11.
Yeah,
that happens too. There's been plenty of times where my opponent's like 9, and I'm like, dude, you got 10 dice. Like, get your extra hit, dude, or get the hits you rolled. Yeah, and then like I will group my dice up, and I will slide them over out of the way of the ones that either that pass or fail, depending on if it's the roll, and be like, all right, I'm gonna roll my defense. I roll them. Oh, these 5 save, these 5 take, and I'll group them up. I'm like 10 or 5 damage, and I'll like start doing my health and all that crap. But like, make it very obvious. And there's times where my opponent's like, character attack with cleave 4. Okay, I'll put those dice here. Auxiliary stand attack with cleave 3. I'm like, I'll put those dice here. Regular attacks, I'll put those dice here, and I'll be like, okay, these are the cleave 4s. I will now be rolling them. These are the cleave 3s. I will now be rolling them. These are the regulars. I will now be rolling them, and go from there. Let's do all resolve together because it doesn't matter, and stuff like that. Like, communication with your opponent is another key aspect of the social contract with you and your opponent. Of like, I am now doing this. Now I'm doing this. So it's like 19 dice attack, roll. All right, hitting on 4s. Rerolling 6s or whatever. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's 15 hits. Shit like that. Your opponent goes, cool, 15 defense on 3s. Roll. Sweet. That's 5 saves, 10 damage. You're like, okay, cool. Do resolve. Like, have that communication. It's really just stating what you're doing is a lot of the time, just to keep you and your opponent in the loop, so that things don't get lost. I've had a couple games where my opponent is just rolling dice and then pulling minis, and I have no idea what the fuck is going on because they're not communicating anything with me.
Key takeaways are it's good form to just do this. This is probably something that you're already doing, but the number of dice, what you need to hit, any special rules that come up, and then the number of hits that you got, and also any special rules that you have. So like when I was at Adepticon, one guy, he was very nice, but he was just new. I kept asking him, I was like, okay, is there any like AP or cleave on those hits? He'd be like, yeah. And it's like,
how much?
Okay, it's not a question of, it's not a binary question. I'm asking you how much cleave or how much. Like, you have to communicate things that are relevant. So if there's a special rule like that, let your opponent know. If there's like deadly blades or deadly shots, right? Because they need to know that 6s are going to do double, right? So just, if you follow that, you'll be just fine, though.
Yeah, some people don't. Some people need a refresher. Some people are tired. Like, they're like, you know, stuff like that where it's like you don't know if people are doing this maliciously or they're doing forgetfully. There's stuff like that. Like, there have been players who have done stuff like this maliciously, and it's like, okay, man, you wanna play this kind of game? We can play this kind of game, and it's not gonna be fun for both of us. Like, I've had to do it. It's not fun when you got to go like play that guy who wants to be a dickhead. It's like, all right, let's roll up the sleeves. Let's get in here. Guess I'm reorganizing someone's organs.
So a quick aside on the rolling dice thing. Here's the thing. You better not be rolling the dice in a way that your hand is palm down when those dice are released. You can go vertical. You can have your palm up and roll that way. If you're just palm down dropping those dice, I don't care if like what the purpose is. Like, it pisses everybody off. Like, if you do good or if you do bad, it's just annoying.
So there is a way to actually like roll a number on dice, especially if you're rolling a low amount on dice, especially with D6. It's why in like backgammon, for the dice roll to count, they have to bounce off the backboard for the roll. It's, you know, don't do dice manipulation shit like that. It doesn't have to work, 100% of the time. Even if it works 5 times out of 10, it's still like, okay, roll your dice properly. Shake those dice up, drop them out. Don't just like drop your dice and not have them roll at all and getting a bunch of 1s. It's super annoying.
Yeah, like, I don't care what the result is, to be perfectly blunt. But if they're not actually rolling, if they're just like hitting and sliding, that's like, I don't know, it's kind of like poker rules. Like, they have to like change face, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's another one? Oh, measuring. So like, I've seen people measure really poorly, and I'll let the listeners in on something. Hold on, let me go look at my fucking diploma. Civil engineer geomatic technologist. Okay, so what does this mean? It means I measure the ground for the fucking living. I'm basically a human measuring stick. So this drives me up the wall because I do this every day of my goddamn life, is measuring shit. And when I see people mismeasure stuff and then like try to fight me on it, it's like, please stop. You're wasting your time. I can prove you 3 different ways why this is wrong. So let's talk about measuring. The tape measure is fine. The issue with the tape measure is that it induces parallax. Parallax is, by the way, the angle your eyes see the number is not actually what's being measured because you don't have a perfect top-down view over the thing.
I have a very easy way of explaining this.
Go ahead.
Hold the tape measure up. Look out the window. Hold the tape measure up and look at something outside the window, like a house. I guarantee you that house is not 6 inches tall, okay? When the tape measure is really far away, it changes the scale of the measurement.
Yeah. So what can you do to prevent this, or get a little better at it? So you can put the tape measure down. You can move the minis off the stand so you can get a cleaner measurement. A lot of the times I see where this issue arises is because, like Skillin has said, the tape measure is above the minis, what introduces parallax. Your eyes are at an angle to the end of the stick, what introduces parallax. Another way is to ask your opponent to hold the end of the tape at the edge of their minis. So, you're getting them, because remember, this is a social contract, you're getting them to hold it at the edge. You pull the tape, you check yours, and you're like, okay, I'm at 20.1. My threat range is 20. I'm out. And they're like, okay, cool, perfect. There's also the social contract of, hey, what's your threat range? Oh, I'm March 6 plus range. Oh, I don't even fucking know how to get to 20. 14. And your opponent goes, cool. Pulls tape. I'm going to say 20.1. You good with that? And they're like, yeah, I'm good with that. So that's the social contract of, hey, if the table shakes or anything, we've already agreed to these guys are 20.1 away. You can't March shoot me this turn. Like, that's another thing. People going back on that social contract after you've, established it, it's kind of a tell you might have to watch that player a little bit or really reinforce it, because if you call a judge on that, it's very much a he said, she said. I think I've only seen this once, and I just let it slide personally, and it didn't change the outcome of the game or anything. But you do talk with your opponent, and you do establish that social contract. Because even my opponents do it to me, where they're like, "Hey, I want to stay 22 inches away from you." I'm like, "Cool," and I check the number. It's like, "Okay, you're at 21." It's back up a little bit, and it's like, "Okay, how about now?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool, you're good," and we go on from there. But yeah. That's another part of the conversation and communication with you and your opponent. I'm getting all riled up. For the tape measure, there's another couple things you can use. Widgets. If anyone's watched any of the battle reports, you'll see that I have widgets for ranging from 4 inches to 14 inches, and then I have smaller widgets what do half an inch all the way to 5, and then I have one what's 1 inch all the way to 6, what I use a lot of the time. And I have wheeling widgets, what are 0.1 off from the full distance if you use the tape. The issue with using a tape for wheeling is that people poorly use the tape. They'll try and bend that thing super far, and it's that's not actually how you wheel. You got to pull it forward out and then spin the what is it, the stand or whatever?
Technically, it's you put the tape down, and you kind of, as your unit's going, you have to kind of slide it.
Yeah, it's really janky, and the wheel widget just actually does the turn nicely, and you don't have people not pinning their corner with a wheel widget. It's oh no, but you're losing 0.1 of an inch. It's who cares? 0.1 fuck of an inch. This isn't gonna matter.
It just saves time too. Honestly,
it just makes it
a
smoother.
lot of what it really amounts to is it's you're gonna spend a lot of time fucking around, and just with the widget like that, you can just not spend all that time.
Yeah,
you can spend more time playing the game instead of trying to execute on your move, or you can just tell whether or not the move is feasible or not.
Yeah. Proxy bases. This is something that I pulled from War Machine a lot of, because War Machine used a lot of proxy bases to see if you can get somewhere and then initiate a thing, especially with fluid formation, where you're gonna walk up, shoot, and then I don't know, walk back. If you have a free shot Raptor Riders, you don't need to actually move the minis and then move them back if they're gonna go in the same spot for some reason, or whatever you're doing. Maybe you're only moving 3 inches up and then 3 inches back. You can just use a proxy base to put them there, check their line of sight, check their lines of fire, and then go from there. You don't need to actually move the physical models. Proxy bases are great to see if you can actually fit into places properly, so you don't fuck up charges or wheeling or angles, or seeing how your opponent is going to hit you, so you can set up a proper counter charge and you didn't accidentally overwheel a regiment. So now you can no longer see that your opponent's regiment that hit your other regiment. You have extra stands because you have, probably extra models on the shelf. You can just kind of put extra stands in your bag to just plop down and just use to see how things work and how things are going to place. I use proxies all the time. The 3D printed trays for stands, I use those a lot of times for my proxies, to be honest. Makes it a lot easier just to see how things are going to fit and move. so I can properly do stuff just due to the movement system of this game. And that's just like an etiquette thing of, okay, I want to do this charge. It's really weird and janky. So I'm going to start touching all my minis and start moving them around. Or I can just grab a proxy and like proxy it out. And then if it fails, I haven't moved any of my minis, so the game state hasn't changed. Like, that's a big one where people like are fucking up game state.
It is kind of annoying when it's like somebody's like, oh, well, I measured this 3 different ways and I moved the model. And I couldn't get it the first 4 times, but now I got it the first way that I tried all of a sudden after moving this model around 4 times and then putting it back. It's like, okay.
Was it actually there, or was it? Yeah, it's just like, grab a proxy. If it's weird, grab a proxy. And if you think you're not gonna make it, grab a proxy.
Also, here's just a pro tip. If you're doing some weird ass janky movement like that, you probably shouldn't be. Like, not because it's like, oh, there's anything against it. It's probably not a good move. Like 9 out of 10 times.
No, sometimes they're really good. Some of them are just janky.
I don't know. Most of the time that I see it, it's just kind of like oh, okay, cool. Like, it tends to be like these weird like desperation moves that tend to not be properly set up. I don't know. Just the majority of the times that I've seen stuff like that, it's not even like a good line of play. So when you're getting yourself into that state, you should really consider, like, is this something that I really need to be doing? Like, just ask yourself that. Or should you just do this? Should you set up for it and do this next round? Because a lot of times that's actually the answer.
Yeah, like, there's a bunch of stuff like that. Like, this is a game between you and your opponent. The goal is to have fun, but you want to win. Is that the right word? I don't know. It's something like that, where it's like the end result is you and your opponent having fun. But someone's got to win at the end of the day for the game to end. So it's
essentially a cooperative rivalry.
Yeah.
Like, you're friends, but you're also rivals for the purposes of this game. Doesn't mean you need to treat them hostile, like in a hostile manner. But, you're both striving to do your best in this thing against each other.
I agree. Cass, do you have anything to add to this?
No, you've been covering it pretty much pretty thoroughly.
I'm like riled up over measuring.
Well, it's your whole thing.
It's so funny watching people.
If I thought somebody smoking weed wrong, I'd be upset about that.
It's just funny because like people try shit on me and it's like, nah, that's not how that works. I had someone try to like measure my widgets and it's like, nah, they're 10 inches, it's 11 inches. Like, you're not gonna try and like out me here.
Sorry, buddy, I'm Massimo, the human calipers.
Yeah. All I do, I'll activate my triangle vision and see the world in a new light. It's how you do point cloud data. It just intersects with each other in triangles.
Oh, I know all about that.
Yes. you want to play on AutoCAD?
No, I built that whole server stack. It was like my first year and a half of work at this company. But
so yeah,
I don't know. You got to hit him with your Massimo measurement.
No, just fucking measure properly. Stop doing weird shit. Like, use the tape measure properly. Did you know I had an assistant who couldn't read a fucking tape measure? Do you have any idea how far that drove me up the wall?
How? Like,
he just fucking didn't
literally
even
look at it.
I was like, show me 360 mils, and he was like, he just pointed, and it was like 420, and I'm like, did you just guess? And he's like, no, and I'm like, did you guess? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, can you fucking read, dude? Like, what the fuck?
Just look at the 3, go halfway up, and then go up one small one. It's that easy. Like, literally, it's counting. Yeah. And it's marked out for you, so you don't have to count much. Just count the minimal amount possible. Like, it's actually that simple.
Yeah. It was rough. It was super rough. I had to make a phone call after because he he like fucked me over because like he didn't write down the proper measurement on a stick out in the field, and I had the foreman who was just like having a shit show, and I like walked over to look at it, and I just literally like wrote a number down, and he was like, "Oh, that makes a ton of sense. Oh, thanks." I'm like, "Okay, let me go figure out the other problem. You can leave me alone now, please." Oh, it was just wild. I was just like, why the fuck do we have this guy? He can't even read a fucking tape measure.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty. Considering that reading a measurement device is literally the job.
Yeah, do it a lot of different
you would
ways.
think that would be important.
I think the worst one was I was playing a game of War Machine years ago, and this guy had his base outside of a trench, and you could like splash AoE damage on it, but he's like, my center of my base is in the trench, so I'm arguing that I'm immune to blast damage. And I'm like, well, you gotta be completely in the trench first off. But he was like arguing against it. I'm like, was he completely? I forget, but like, I could have the if my blast center was in the trench, it would still hit him, and he's like trying to argue that it wasn't, and I'm like, man, if I had a total station, I could like shoot the edges of the circle, I could shoot the four corners of the circle, make a circle, I could shoot the edges of the trench, I could shoot his mini, and then I could like have it in CAD and like draw it out for him to show him that he's wrong. And I was thinking about that for a moment. I'm like, I'm playing a miniature wargaming, and I want to bring a total station in just to go shoot a bunch of corners on something that's like 6 inches long and 2 inches wide, and like 2.5 inch, like 50 mil diameter. Like, what the fuck am I doing? This is a $50,000 piece of machine. What
else you could do, Mass?
I'd be like,
tell him to open his eyes and look at the fucking table.
He was like bound to
determine. You don't need to do all that.
He was bound to determine that I wasn't right, and I was like, you know what, dude? Fine, take it. I don't give a shit. Still kicked his ass. I was like, whatever, man. If you're fighting me on measurements, it's like, that's terrible. It's like, you're wasting your time.
There are people who are like that, though, where it's like, it doesn't matter what it is. They're going to like try to like argue you about some minutia about something that like ultimately doesn't matter, but they're just going to like, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where like most of the time I'll let them have it. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, because I just don't want to go through this like boring fight with a fucking war gamer, to be honest.
No, it's the worst.
This is like look, everyone who's played war games, you know how it is, okay? Like, you've been that guy sometimes, or that gal, but you've also encountered that person. So like, I don't know. Someone needs to like budge a little bit in order to just keep things going. And if the stakes are low, I tend to just be like, okay, whatever. Like,
yeah,
it's usually not going to stop. It's like, oh, you're completely crushing me off of the table, and it's turn 5. Oh, well, I actually get one more shot. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah. The only time I would ever say like those things actually matter are during a tournament when you have a judge. Then you just call the judge and let the judge deal with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not your problem. It's like the judge is literally there to come over, handle any of those disagreements, and whatever they pick, right or wrong, you roll with it. But you had a third-party arbitrator come in and deal with it. So you're not getting, annoyed at your opponent. They're not getting annoyed with you of whatever the call was. Put that on the judge. That's why they're there. In a casual setting, to be honest, just fucking let it go. Like, it's not worth it. You can have that back and forth, but if it happens, if you go, hey, it's going to hit here, and your opponent's like, no, it's not. And you're like, yeah, I think it's because of this. And you're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's because of this. And you're like, no, it's not. You're like, okay, cool, you can have it. I do it 3 times.
Like,
the initial, 2 more, done.
So as an example, there is a guy, and this is really just, you should probably call a judge, just generally, even if, like, just call a judge. I was playing a guy, and he didn't know about the line of sight for spells,
Ooh.
And I was like, well, you can't see over, the 2 units between you and me. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I just called the judge over right away. And it wasn't like to be a dick or anything. It was just to like make sure, like having that third party arbitration is just real nice, because it's like, yeah, it's not on me to like make the call. You don't have to trust me, man. Like, here, this is just how the rule is. It will take, 30 seconds, less than a minute, to get the judge over here, and they'll just confirm it. And then now and you know that I'm not like just screwing you over, and we're good to go.
Yeah, I agree. Judge, they're perfect. I love judges. Like I've had bad like. So when I did that Adepticon interview, Carl wanted to like rate his games because he's kind of getting tired of like. I'm not gonna put words in Carl's mouth. I can put my opinion of why. I think he's just tired of players who play poorly at like major tournaments who just want to like, I guess, argue with him about dumb crap or just blatantly don't know the rules. But like at the Michigan GT last September, I had my worst game of Conquest ever, and I had my best game of Conquest ever. If you ever get a chance to play Chuck, he's fantastic. Our game was immaculate and amazing. Loved it every time. The worst game of Conquest ever, the judges had to be called probably every other 10 minutes. It was rough. Like, I literally thought of just DQing right there just so I didn't have to deal with this shit anymore. It was that bad. Like, it's like, you travel... Oh, I traveled like 16 hours for that one. You get paired up into a guy who's just awful to deal with. It's just like, well, fuck, like, why am I here? I can just start traveling home. Like, there's no point. Like, this is fucking awful. Like, I'm never going to come back. I have other tournaments I can attend and play games at what are going to be way better. Like, like, just don't be a dickhead. Learn the rules. Learn to be communicative with your opponent and get through a game. Like, don't, like, the people who kind of do that shit are people who are trying to, like, be the very best and win, but they don't have the skills to do so they're going to try every, like, weird underhanded crap they can. Like, this, I played this player, like, a couple times now, and it's been bad every time, and one time it's like, oh, time got called. Oh, let's count up the points. I'm going to win because of all this. I'm like, how? You're so far behind. Like, fuck. No, you're not.
So, here's just... This is like, I feel like pretty generally applicable advice. You might win or you might lose that game, but like, don't be that person that everyone fucking hates to play. Okay? Because like, your life's going to go on, and those people are still going to hate you because you just make every interaction suffering. So if you are that person, and you don't know it, number one, if you're not aware at all, maybe just like pay attention. Like, try to see if people are like actively avoiding you, and if they are, try not to be confrontational about it, but just be like, hey man, like, oh, like, was I doing something to like annoy you or piss you off or like whatever? Like, try to be cool about it. But generally speaking, doing that shit is not going to win you a game. Okay. But it is going to make people really despise you. And you don't want to be that person. Because even if you suck at the game, if you're if you're chill, then people will still socialize with you, which is kind of like ultimately the point of this. Like, don't burn bridges over like a fucking game about plastic dolls. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's really what it comes down to. Just don't be that guy.
Yeah, like this year's Adepticon, all my opponents were fantastic, would play them again immediately. My pickup game with Melon Ninja, fantastic, would play them again. Like, they're all cool dudes. Win or lose.
Yeah.
Enjoyed my time with them.
I had a great time with everyone that I played against.
Yeah. Like, it's just, they're I believe locally at the old store, one of the guys was all like grumpy with me because he was like, "Oh, you're a competitive player." It's like, well, at this point in my life, I hadn't gone to any conquest events, so it's like, not really. I just want to be good at a War Dolly game because this is where I put my time and energy into, and I like strategy. Like I was literally grew up on strategy RTS games. This is just complex chess. That's all it is. It's just another strategy game, and I quite like those. So he's all annoyed that I'm like getting better at the game, and it's just like, and he would go out of his way not to play me, and it's like, okay, man, have fun over there. You're a sore loser and a sore winner either way. So yeah, it's just like,
that's the other thing too. Like, you can just be a shitty person whether you're winning or you're losing.
yeah,
It doesn't really matter. Like, there are people who are real sore losers and real sore winners, and it's just like, look, I don't care if you're good at the game or if you're bad at the game or whatever. Like, this is entirely independent. The key is to have enough emotional maturity that you don't make it suffering to be around you, whether you're winning or you're losing. Like, you're going to play a bunch of these games. It's not the end of the world. Like, I don't know. This reminded me of like the repressed memory of when I first learned to play War Machine. I was like, I don't know, 15 or 16, and I was at the game store with my buddy. And I can't remember what my buddy was playing, but he played against this guy who was there, and the guy was like very much trying to just like destroy the new player. Like, so there was the person who was running the demo basically, and then there was like this other guy who was like the opponent. And he was playing Karchev in particular, which was pretty funny. And anyways, he ended up losing to my buddy. And that guy like got so mad that he took like the Karchev card, and this is why I remember it's Karchev, and he like rips it in half, and he's like, "Karchev is trash." And then he like looks over at my buddy, and like this guy was probably like, he was a very tall guy, but like he probably weighed like 280, 300 pounds. I thought he was just, and it wasn't lean muscle. And he looked like he was gonna just like try to tackle over the table into my buddy, and we just kind of like look at each other, and I was just like, okay, then. It was like so hilarious in retrospect, but I was just like, I don't know, man. I think you were in danger of getting like crushed to death by that guy.
Jesus Christ! Like,
the moral of the story is, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. I hope that guy has gotten over it. I somehow doubt that is the case, unfortunately, because people who tend to be like that into like their 20s and late 20s, early 30s tend to probably not change so much, or it's like very rare. But yeah, don't be that guy. At least be likable. That's what it amounts to.
Yeah, like you can lose games with grace. Like there's times where I lose games, I'm like, I'm not excited. Still talk to my opponent. Still go over the game with them. You know, shake their hand, be courteous, all that stuff. Come back the next day, play another game. Like it's fine. Like everyone has. It's how you handle your like ego, your emotional response, what you're there trying to do, all that stuff. Like don't take out your expectations upon your opponent or other people around you. Would be the way to say it.
And like, here's the thing too. It's like, you may think you deserve to win or whatever. Sometimes you underestimate your opponent. Sometimes they're just playing out of their mind. It's not necessarily a reflection on, like, people won't think less of you if you generally are a consistently strong player and then they beat you. That's not necessarily like oh, you're shit. A lot of times it's like you're the person that they want to beat because you're their like measurement of progress. And so if they do, you don't need to like, don't shit on them. Like, try not. I know the impulse is there to be shitty about it, but like, really, if anything, you should congratulate them and be like, hey, you know, you've been improving a lot. Like, good job. because like that really to get really good at these kinds of games, you need to play a mix of like games where you're able to like experiment and like figure things out, but you also need games that are going to like push you to like tighten up all of your execution and expose the weaknesses in what you're doing. And so you should like help, you should be encouraging of people to get to the point where they can actually push you, because that's the only way to get better after a certain point.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I like playing Carl and Brian and any of the other competent guys, is because they'll actually push me. And like, yeah, I'll lose, but it's like I lost for a reason, and we can figure out the reason. I can improve upon it for later, which just makes my other game stronger. Cass, jump in.
I'm just absorbing, you know.
No, you're being a internet terrorist is what you're doing.
No.
I am reading this message, and I don't know, the Heavenusy got me thinking wrong.
Sorry, the heaven. Oh, what the I looked at this and all the emojis. All right, so for the listener, Cass posted this fucking atrocity of
you know those like that copy and paste spam that people send around, where it'll be like a bunch of emojis with like a really filthy like horny message that's tailored to a holiday or a special event. I'm sure you've encountered these in your life. They're very common, I'm sure.
The resurrection is something in there. Wow, there's a lot of eggplants. There's so many eggplants. On this day, our Lord and Savior rose that dick up to save us all and open the legs of heaven's pussy. Jesus Christ.
I got to that part and my brain just fucking broke. And I was just like, oh shit.
Every time Cass posts one of these, there's so many goddamn emojis that I'm just like, no, I'm not reading this. I pick out a couple words and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm never gonna give this thing a full read. I'm never gonna suggest. No, guess I failed that one live. Hippity, sorry, hop onto that risen Jesus. Oh, Jesus fuck, how horny are you?
Well, I mean, this isn't reflective of my horniness.
Yes, it is.
No, I mean, like, my answer, everybody knows the answer to that question, but it's separate from this, because this doesn't do anything for me. This is just funny. I misunderstood. When Skills said heaven's pussy, I heard heavenusy, and I was having my own thing about that.
Just tag Cass in. This is a terrible idea.
Anyway, God. I just wanted to listen and learn and hold space for you guys to discuss the game, and I don't know whether I posted something or not. I don't know what that has to do with anything. So,
I mean, what it has to do with anything is that I in particular saw it, and my fucking brain stopped at that particular line.
The Heavenusy.
The Heavenusy.
So fucked up. How do people get through Bomb Table? I have no idea. We were doing so well. And Cass coming here from the left with the steel Heavenusy.
Okay, flying Heavenusy off the top ropes.
just Cass's Bernie Sanders.
I didn't try to bring any attention to this. I just did my thing in the chat, like I was gonna do either way. We didn't have to talk about it. That's a decision that you all made.
You drew attention to it is the worst part.
Talk about it. This is too good to ignore. This is the content.
Oh.
It just goes to show you, true Heavenusy is a place on Earth.
Oh man.
I'm glad only adults can afford to play war games.
Yeah. Well, actually, we might have to tone it down because like those kids at Adepticon are getting into Conquest, and it was like,
Hey, whoa! Did the good people who made Anchorman tone it down?
no, but I also put explicit on every single Bonk Table podcast
Yeah,
episode.
so if they're listening, they're committing fraud. So
we gotta put an 18 plus thing on here now.
yeah, hearing the word boner
one of those,
is the
thought of
least of your concerns.
the thought of one of those kids asking their parent, like, "What's Heavenosi?" is absolutely hilarious to me. I'm not gonna lie.
We're gonna go back to Adepticon, and that kid's dad is gonna find and kill us. It's like, you taught my child all these terrible things on Bonk Table. And it's like, yeah, it's not a sex thing.
I had to explain to my kid what Heavenosi is. And I'll just
And he
he's
had
gonna
a
look
right
him
to
square in the
face
eyes and
because
say,
I
"You're
told him it's
welcome."
God on Earth.
You just look him square in the eyes and say, "You're welcome."
I hope I catch a left hook from like a big bear-shaped dad at
I've
con
seen the
because
dad.
I
He's
said
not a bear.
boner.
He's shorter than Skillet and me.
Oh, I'll
He's
take
super
him then.
nice. Super
Yeah,
I'll
nice.
super
fight that
great guy.
kid's dad, then.
Yeah, super supportive of his kids and their hobbies, and
Yeah.
he plays the game as well, if I recall.
Square up that kid's dad. I'll take you then.
Oh my god.
I've only lost a couple inches of height. Yeah, it's fine.
See,
Did you actually shrink?
he's really nice.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
want to get into a physical altercation, but
I don't want to. I'm
No.
just saying I won't back down.
You need to cosplay as
if
Lady D.
confronted, I would simply respond, "Well, it's better than being into the heathenussy, isn't it?"
The Feroci. We're
The
saving your
Heritage
child
Disease.
from space wolves.
The
The
pagan
apostasy.
Your kid can live in a Spire's hot dog now.
well,
Oh,
one of those
Yeah.
kids does play Spires too, which is real
No!
funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. If I somehow end up at Hios, I gotta convince Stravos to write in a Spire's hot dog as a piece of STL terrain and get that printed on tables.
It's got to be a 3D printed. So okay, I can actually imagine it, and this is amazing because I have that brain thing where you can't like visualize stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I can imagine this perfectly, and it's like there would be a little base to make it like measurably like terrain sized, and also to give like terrain context to what's happening. And bursting out of the earth would be like this like insect like carapace-esque bud. And out of the bud would be this mummified like hot dog, and then out of like the tip, like it would be getting pulled open, and you would see details of like a force-grown drone trying to crawl out of the hot dog.
Okay, how many veins are on the hot dog?
No!
One big one.
No!
Does it branch though? Is it like the forked one, or is it the one that just like, you know?
No, it's like a unforked lightning bolt. Just
Oh yeah, okay.
Is there a tattoo of a cat
same
casting
wavelength.
spells or what? Like a wizard cat on the side of it?
yeah, actually.
It's like the tramp stamp of Spires.
Oh god.
Hold
It's
on.
where their it's on their
There's-
belly, where their belly button should be.
I just type it. Oh no. Yes, this is not that. Okay, if you actually go onto the map of Ia. Oh, fuck me. Do they not? They have their map somewhere, like the full map with the labeling of where shit is. You can actually see where the various like spires are.
Yeah, that's in
On
the
it?
vote for your story thing.
Is it actually? What do you mean vote for your story?
The
Photoshopping a bunch
narrative
of
vote.
old hot dogs sticking out of the map.
No, I want to figure out what spires, what actual spire would be the hot dog one. And maybe we can convince Stravos to change it. Is that the not what's new? The game, the lore of Conquest Living World.
Yeah, it's in the living world.
Oh, hello.
You got to zoom in.
Yes. Okay, I gotta go find. Take the locations off. Where's the legend?
Just look for the orange things.
Oh, the
Eggs
sisters? No, I don't think the sisters would be the hot dog.
Are you sure?
I mean,
The Towering
How
Man!
do you know?
Oh, that's a great name for the hot dog spire. The Towering Man. The Thrumble. Oh, it could be the Thrumble. Devil's Finger? Oh, these are amazing.
It's the devil's finger.
Yeah,
That's
Devil's
real.
It's right by Argberg. Oh my god. There's Guillaume. That's the one that when some chick went and took over for the holds. Oh my god. Yeah, it's the Devil's Finger. The hot
The
dog
devil's
spire.
finger is the hot dog spire.
where is it close to?
Obviously.
Argberg. It's like
So you could say that Argberg has that dog in him?
sure does. You see that big? So in the 100 Kingdoms, on the left side of the 100 Kingdoms is a big ass lake. It's just to the right of that. If you zoom in and go to the
Is
right.
there just a spire in the middle of the lake?
Yeah, don't ask what that one. That's the back door.
Uh-huh. The opposite of the devil's finger, if you
Yeah.
will.
That's where the Weaver Courts are. That's why there's no town development in that area. I was trying to figure out what the fuck that was. City States Peninsula. Yeah, we got the Wastelands, the Dying Lands, the Old Dominion. They should update this with the Sorcerer King's Island on it. There's like this one spire out on some fucking island. That might be where the Quiet is. I have no idea.
It probably is. Is it the Lumina one?
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if that ends up being the quiet. See, I don't really know that. Like, I know very specific aspects of Spire's lore, but I don't know like a lot of generic stuff.
I do
And
love.
I've pretty much
Go ahead.
I've pretty much like absorbed most of the non-Spire stuff through entirely through Kang,
Big Daddy Kang.
who is like he's like the lore keeper. He has mined the lore veins of this game deep and greedily.
Oh, should I bother him to have him on to tell? Okay, I want to do an episode where I abridge all the lore, and then we can do an episode where Big Daddy Kang comes on because he'll be pissed, and where he can explain the
that would
actual
be
lore.
So funny.
Oh my god, that'll be a perfect episode, like 2-part episode.
Kang is my absolute favorite person to just pester for like lore tidbits because there's some I don't know why specifically, but it's just the way that he delivers it is like particularly captivating to me. So I don't know. I think it would be a service to the community to have just a recording of him telling you about
all my fuck
like,
ups.
the details. Yeah, exactly. And then he will correct you in the most like I don't know. It like puts me in this like hypnotic trance state. Like I don't know. Maybe it's like my MK Ultra activation phrases uttered or something. But I don't know. It's a magical experience.
Okay, well, I have a week of work and then I have a week off. I can read. I can sit down and just read through all the lore, and then be like, "All right, let's do an episode. This is abridged." And just like fucking abridge it hard, and then have Big Daddy Kane come on and be like, "All right, you dumb fuckheads." It's like, awesome. Because the Conquest lore is really good. It's just kind of hard to like put in one place, I find. Like there's so much like Warhammer lore, you can really just like watch a bunch of it and really pick up what's going on, why things are the way they are. You don't have that for Conquest. Like the best we have is 2+ Tough, who goes about the lore, and his videos are great. By the way, if you're looking for Conquest lore, 2+ Tough. Go sit down, listen to all his Conquest lore. He does a great job doing all the videos on it. It's fantastic. But that's it. There's like barely anything else. I think Stravos did an interview with some other guys like 2-3 years ago at this point, and that's really been it.
See, I even prefer Kang's delivery of the lore to Stavros, just because I don't know. Like when Stavros like recounts the lore, you're like, oh, okay, we're doing like the whole Greek opera thing, or the Greek,
he's got to do his Odyssey.
Classic, like, yeah, he's gonna like do the whole, like, you're gonna have the chorus, and then you're gonna have like, your protect, like, he's gonna follow like that. He what I'm saying is he tells the story in the most Greek epic tragedy or comedy manner possible, but like realistically, I just want to hear about how weird bugmen do weird bugman stuff, and like I'm not necessarily prepared for the Odyssey every time. I just want to hear about, like, I don't know.
You have to pay the Lord
Spires
toll
doing
if you
goofy
want to hear
shit.
the bug hole.
Exactly.
You got to get everything to get to that sweet devil finger hot dog.
Yeah, look, I want to make jokes about the the names of the spires. I don't necessarily want to like go on an odyssey about the recounting of how, like, this guy got dragged around a city for 3 days.
I don't even want to go on an Iliad about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Skillet, everyone's sitting down to talk to Stavros. At the end of it, after the 20 years, there's only one survivor going home, and it's just Skillet coming back to his wife, and it's like, yeah, that was.
And I would just be like, I was like, it was fine, but I mean,
you almost died like 4 to 7 times.
Yeah, it's just like, it was all right, but like, I mean, I'll condense it down into like, a paragraph. Like, it's okay. I'll do a quick write up.
You need that book report on his desk by Sunday or by Friday, and you're like, oh, it's Wednesday. Shit.
Yeah, I'm just
it was
oh.
more hot dog than heaven, Esty, but I got through it.
Wait, Stavros literally does the thousands of years ago.
Oh, here we go.
And then you're like, oh.
The 4 horsemen and the war host. First came famine, first of the horse. Yeah, it's fucking written that way.
I'm like, bro, I like realistically, I'm like, yeah, don't care. Tell me about
the age of worship. The dragons, the age of elders. The fall. The fall of sea.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, tell me about how the Force-grown drones were first made. What kind of fucked up weird shit did they make when they were figuring that out? Because it took them a while to figure it out. Like, tell me about the weird abominations.
Listen, Stavros, tell me about the bug guys with the crap blasters. And if it's not about that, then save it.
Yeah, actually, like, kind of. I'm like, yeah. Tell me more about the what kind of weird shit goes on with those Avatar suits, man. Ooh. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying? Wow, there's actually like sweet Archangel. Okay. By the way, people, I don't know if you know this. If you're in the lore section of the Parabellum website, you go to Genesis, and it's like, in the beginning. Who gives a shit about that? Top right. There's your language, libraries, factions, Genesis. Go to libraries, go to forces. There's actually art on stuff that's been updated. Like, the Abomination art's been updated. The Archangel has some sweet-ass art. The Athanatoi kind of look like a cross between a Knife Fighter and Kiss, the band. That's what the art looks like.
I mean,
kind of sick. Load more.
Truly, the unit lore blurbs are probably like my favorite stuff.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you go click on like bone golems, and it takes you to their old, like, in their quest for knowledge of the Dark Creed, uncovering many secrets best left alone. Primary among the facts, there are the many stones of Capitus were soaked with so much death.
Cut the preamble. Cut the preamble.
But like, this is it. Here, I'll just fucking copy. Like, it's literally a paragraph where it kind of is like, it's the thing on the back of the box for the bone golems.
Yeah, I know.
Here, where are you? Well, should I shove it in fan fiction? It's in here somewhere, right?
So, one of the things that like I find really funny with Conquest is it has that thing where there's the lore gameplay divide, where they're like, yeah, look at these Vanguard clones. Look at these Vanguard clone infiltrators. They're the most hardcore spires of all time. Nah, they on the tabletop, they're all right. But like,
yeah, but that's like with every game, because like you have to like hype up this unit, this regiment, whatever you want to call it. You got to hype these guys up so that people are like really excited to like play and buy them, and then you get knocked down because they don't play like that at all. But if they said, yeah, this is your basic bitch, like, objective chuds, people probably wouldn't buy them.
Oh, for force-grown drones, they actually say that, but they aren't. They aren't objective chuds, unfortunately. It's like, oh, they're mass expendable units, blah blah blah. Like that, I actually find interesting. The Vanguard clones, though, they like really hype them up, and then you like look at their stat line, you're like, okay, like what's great about them? Like Evasion 2, like so what? Like these guys are like worse than Nords, like worse than any unit in Nords.
People look at that number from like underneath it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they stare at it from that angle and they're like, "Damn, that looks big." But like if you're looking down at
Damn,
it
that
from
looks
the other
big.
side, you're like, it's a 2. It's not.
Let's be real
It gets
here.
the job done, but it's not gonna save my life.
That's such a good way of putting it.
Red Years Part 1, Part 2, the Stone Phoenix campaign, 100K victorious location.
Like, I don't know.
Okay, they did their lore a lot better. Other needs to be expanded, so it doesn't look like what the fuck it currently looks like. But it is a lot better than it was before for the lore. I'm like going through 100K right now.
I'm just reading this thing and it's like, okay, the Bone Golem thing, if you take out like the preamble and the fancy language, is like, yeah, this god like got some god juice on the ground, and then those stones were so angry that they decided to start killing.
Can you imagine if
Like that's actually it.
Can you imagine if the exchanges woke up and was like, "There's too much knife fighting. We will also knife fight," and I'd be like, fuck, the buildings are stabbing now."
Man, what is it with gods and like leaking bodily fluid and that just making life? Like,
Hold on.
be it blood or whatever.
Maybe it's some Spire's hot dog trickery going afoot.
No comment.
the Spire's hot dog juice, the wiener water. Just put the wiener water on the ground and it grows a force-grown drone.
Grows a force-grown drone Hazel. And he's just like, you're like, Jesus Christ.
That's like some Fear and Hunger level shit. It's just like it's like a messed up, deformed version of the god, and you're like, yes, now it's time for me to do what you deserve.
Now I gotta feed you to this cat guy. Get my claymore, sweet.
Oh man!
My God!
No, you go in the chains of torment. We need to.
Oh my God! Yeah,
out of the way.
The chains of torment.
You go in the Hellraiser chains.
Yeah,
come on.
It's like pick up the cubes of the depths. You're like, this is the fucking Hellraiser cube, guys. This is just like you're not tricking me here. I know what this is.
You guys? You mean you guy? It's one dude made that. It's wild.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Proof that the fins are like just built different. Kind of wrong, but different.
They have to deal with some shit, okay? All right, back to the actual topic. Do we have anything else to say about our gaming table social etiquette topic?
No, you know what?
That's pretty much it.
We've put everybody through enough tonight.
The Spire's hot dog wins again.
The devil's finger.
The
That's my look. I'm
Devil's Click.
the
The devil's Vienna sausage.
I wonder. Oh man, I'm off the map now. Oh no, never mind. Where is that one place where the Black Company, the mercenary province in like the 100 Kingdoms was going to be like for the Dogs of War faction? It's got to be around here. Ardberg, I feel like, is a capital. It's actually important. I don't think it's that close. I think
Like low key, I just kind of want to like make my screen name the Devil's Finger, because that shit is so funny.
Spires. Yeah, you might as well do it.
That's gonna be my StarCraft screen name.
Ugh. That's right. You got back into StarCraft 1.
Hit him with that Zerg, Devil's Finger.
Oh, Jesus. I'll fucking run from you.
It's a Mutalisk Spire, or it's a
Every-
Greater Spire.
Oh, God.
Episode, we stray a little bit further from God.
That's why God forsaken us and just tried to kill us all and people had to run.
See, I feel like
That's gotta be written into
realistically,
lore. He wasn't just he didn't want to deal with the prayers anymore. He just wanted to get away from us.
Well, that's so. I mean, if God understands everything that was and is and will be simultaneously, then I
Actually, hold
think
on.
when it like flooded the earth, it was probably thinking about this podcast.
yeah, I don't know. It's just really funny to be like, if God truly is like omnipotent, then that means that God knows about all the funny, stupid slang terms that are common.
Hold on,
It's
there's
really funny to me.
Okay, so Old Dominion. I actually quite like Old Dominion lore.
there's actually a meme about that. So hold on, just to honor that we're recording this on Easter, I'm gonna quote a tweet that lives rent free in my head that is relevant to what you're saying. It's Catholic canon that in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus Christ saw every sin committed by human beings, which means that he watched a guy blasting rope to Waluigi hentai and still decided to sacrifice himself for humanity. Absolute legend.
It's pretty based if you think about it.
I
Yeah.
used that joke at work like 2 weeks ago. And my coworkers are like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Nothing. What's wrong with you?
It's like, man, do you like? Because
Just tell him, hey man, I just really appreciate.
so here's
God
the worst
did for
part.
us.
I know one of my coworkers listens to this podcast. He found it by Googling my name.
That rules.
Yeah. So now he knows exactly this moment because he was fucking there when I said that joke.
He's gonna be like, so about Waluigi. What about that guy cranking it to Waluigi and God being like, yeah, man, I get you.
So okay, so I was like, because we were talking, I forget what we were talking about. I was like, man, do you think Jesus just got desensitized while he was like dying there, watching all the sins of humanity? By the time he got to the point of seeing myself getting like me choking myself and jerking it to furry porn, he like just gave up, or was he already desensitized by the time he got to that point?
No, he saw you do that before he was ever in that position. Like,
Really, I thought like he did it when like I haven't read the Bible in quite a while to know the full extent of what the timeline was of him dying.
But
I thought he was
God
when he was getting
creating-
stabbed on the crucifix. He was like, "Oh, I gotta accept all the sins of humanity," and he was like absorbing all of it, and then he died.
No. Theoretically, it would have been like, because like it would have been like, omnipotence means that like before he embarked on this mission to die for our sins,
Oh,
He
Jesus!
knew
He already
ahead
saw
of
it.
time and still was
Yeah.
like, yeah, sign me up for that.
He wasn't getting tortured while this shit was happening. Like,
No, he had foreknowledge. He knew what
Yeah,
he was
he-
signing up for before he was incarnated.
this guy made a bad choice. I'm not gonna lie. This guy fucked up.
I don't know. I appreciate it.
I mean, there's a level of perspective that we just don't have, that he could watch somebody blast rope to Waluigi hentai as
Do-
discussed and decide that like I gotta die for this. So like I don't want to say he's wrong just out of pocket like that. I want to say like maybe we don't have the full picture.
We just lack perspective.
I have a quote from the Old Dominion. Few, if any, have ever truly understood what happened to Haziel when he fell. What is known that is that humanity's Allfather fell into the prison of death, but he was not stopped. And like those who swore to him in life, Haziel returned, as did his dominion. Wow, this is now just a Jesus metaphor.
You didn't know that?
No, because I didn't read it all the way.
Oh yeah, no. Like it's basically like the Roman Empire.
Well, I know that. But yeah, maybe Haziel was Jesus, and like we don't know what happened when he was looking at the Waluigi, like choking it, jerk off, whatever the fuck.
Is that why he fell?
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
He fall? He gazed into the abyss, and that caused him to lose.
He saw Waluigi and he lost.
Staggered.
Yeah, it's just Waluigi stared back.
All you see is the screen of Waluigi staring back at you with the silhouette. in front of it, like MST3K style, and you know.
Wow!
Imagine being the son of God and full well walking into your death that you have the image of a F-18 with huge honkers,
What the fuck?
huge bazongas, and that's going to
mean-
be rendered by the hands of the souls of the men that you're saving.
That really would comfort me.
I mean, me too, but I'm a freak.
I mean, I don't know. The ship girls are kind of where it's at, but you know.
Can we anime beam a ship? Yes, we can. It's like, what the fuck is happening? I have a buddy who owns that game.
The thing about the Aeromorphs is there's nothing comforting about them.
Okay, so like
their skin is aluminum.
I thought I was just going to casually have one beer throughout this episode, and I realized I'm probably going to need about 6 to 7 going forward.
Wow. You're 6 deep in this podcast already?
No. I'm going to be going forward.
He requires the other 7.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
To recover.
Okay. Well, next recording, I'm going to drink 2 then.
Well, actually, we should. Okay, so next recording, you guys want to do lore?
Sure.
Sweet. Because I think we can abridge this, and then we can bring Kang on as our arbiter, who will be like, what is wrong with you people?
Hey, hear me out. Lore. But we're drinking a little.
Oh, yeah, no, we got to
Kang
drink.
is on. And Kang has to be sober.
Kang has to be sober as he re-explains it to us properly, while I do my abridged version.
Priest.
Oh, this would be so much fun. I think we can do.
We'll just quiz him.
Oh,
What we do is we just quiz him about it. Like we go in and we like just read like maybe the first like sentence or something, and then we all drink and we go in and we just like ask a bunch of questions in a way that is like not coherent, and just get him to explain it to us like we're children.
that'd be an amazing
And
episode.
it'll work out perfectly.
Should we do that one first, so we don't know any of the lore, and then he has to explain it to like 3 drunk people?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me DM him. What are you?
Good news! You have to babysit 3 drunk adults.
Actually, yeah, I might as well start with that. Do you want to babysit 3 drunk adults?
Don't give him a choice.
Oh,
Just be like,
That's how you let people say no.
what you doing? Okay, hold on. Okay, so work. I'm back on the 29th. Should we do Saturday the May 3rd? Yes, see Saturday. What are you doing?
Sure.
Saturday, May 3rd. We want to talk lore on the podcast, Skill and Cass and I. Hold on, let me change that to a question mark. Okay,
Nope.
So this episode will come out on the 2nd. Let me check. Oh man, we might have this. So we'll see if he realizes what he's about to get into. I don't think so.
Perfect.
I drank on one episode, but I didn't really get drunk. I'm gonna make sure that I get
No, we gotta get like really fucked.
get faced. Yeah, I'm gonna get it's gonna be.
Okay, he's replying. He doesn't think anything specific. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm free. Awesome. I asked if he was the lore master. We'll see if he replies.
Oh, you know he's the lore master.
Oh, I already know he's the lore master, but like, he's gonna get so fucked in a moment. I am very into it, as Steve is. Perfect.
Say, from me, say, hell yeah, Lord Daddy.
No, you can tell that to himself when we're like 8 beers in. Yeah, this is happening. We should probably wrap this up as I do all the back end stuff. Oh, he
Yeah.
said he'd like to consider himself as a lore master. Oh.
Hell yeah.
We're awesome.
Well, I consider him the lore master.
I can't reveal that to him that we're setting him up for fucking ridiculousness.
Oh, I think that goes without saying. Though.
Yeah, but he's not going to be prepared when I fill the boot full of beer. And about 20 minutes in, I'm going to be done that boot. And then I'm going to refill it full of beer.
I'm gonna get shitty domestic beer in cans so that I get all fighty and shitty.
I like how we're just planning a jump on Kang and he doesn't know what's about to happen.
No, we're setting him up for greatness.
They really are.
I'm gonna get cancelled over this.
No. Not Drunk Mass will edit all the bullshit out. What's really, really bad. I'll be re-listening to it. I'm like, wow. Just went on a tangent immediately.
We really did that, huh?
He sure says that word a lot.
Alright. I think we're good here. I think we had a good episode. You guys want to shout anything? You want to plug?
Shout out to
Table
Cassandra.
podcast.
I'm terrific. About it.
Jesus Christ. Yes, you are. All right. So, thank you for listening to us and our ridiculousness. Please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Listen to us on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, all the other stuff you listen to this place on. If you want to talk to us more in person, there's the Bunk Table Discord. If you would also like to see Cassandra ramble, there is the Cassandra Bunk Table Twitter. And if you're lucky, you can secretly find her secret Twitter, what is way worse than anything
You're
else
obsessed
on
with my personal Twitter. It comes up every episode.
It's
You
great.
can follow the Bunk Table Cast though. That's I'll post on it one day. I'm sure.
Every once in a while.
I should really. I was just thinking about it the other day, and I was like, usually people use stuff like this to like link to the episode when it comes out, and I'm like, I've never once done that.
No,
And I don't think I intend to start.
maybe you should, because I will not do it because I hate Twitter.
Maybe, but I mean, I hate to. Well, no, it's complicated. We've been over this, but you know what? I don't think we want the kind of people who use Twitter listening to our podcast. So
It's okay. You can just Google my
You gotta
name and
consider
find
that.
the podcast.
it's true.
Massimo von Bong Table.
Yep. All right, let's end it. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.